Lampard has been announced as Chelsea's new manager, with the former Blues midfielder succeeding Maurizio Sarri at Stamford Bridge. With the Blues currently banned from signing any players, this could be the best chance in years of youngsters finally making the step up at Stamford Bridge. Here, Footy Pick runs through the most likely 11 Blues fans should expect to see next season from Frank Lampard. Goalkeeper KEPA ARRIZABALAGA. No surprises that KEPA will be the number 1 again next season. Chelsea spent a record £72 million on the Spaniard because they expect him to be the man in between the sticks for the next decade. He was shaky at times but overall had a decent season. Right back, Cesar Azpilicueta. The Chelsea captain had arguably his worst season at the club in the last campaign. But he remains one of the best right backs in the Premier League and absolutely has to start as much as possible for Chelsea to have a chance next season. However, with the Spaniard approaching his 30s, it would be nice to see Lampard rotate the defender a little bit more, or at least give him a 15 minutes rest at the end of less important matches. Centre backs Antonio Rudiger and David Luiz. After some toing and froing, Chelsea finally offered Luiz the 2-year contract that he wanted. The veteran still flashed that racket at times last season, but overall was excellent, especially as a creative force. Rudiger was by far the best defender at Chelsea last season and is the perfect blend of athleticism and skill to be a top-notch Premier League defender. Left back Emerson. The Brazilian was perhaps underused last season and Blues fans were calling on Sarri to give him more game time. Marcos Alonso's form fell off a cliff, so Emerson could get the nod at left back for Lampard's Chelsea. But he will have to work on his final ball as well as defensive positioning. He could struggle to replicate Alonso's assists. Defensive midfielder Jorginho showed glimpses towards the end of the season and in particular in the Europa League final that there is much more to him than just being a midfield anchor. The Brazilian has brought to the team in large part last season. Lampard could offer the 27-year-old more freedom in the middle of the park, maybe even offering N'Golo Kante back into his usual position. Central midfielders N'Golo Kante and Mateo Kovacic. Kante simply has to be returned to his best position. He did well adapting to life under Maurizio Sarri, but there is no logic to play the best defensive midfielder in the world in the wrong place. The signing of Kovacic from Real Madrid has surprised many. Moving for big money back in the day to the Spanish giants must mean there is a talent there. Lampard must bring it out of him immediate. Wingers Willian and Christian Pulisic. Chelsea will not be able to replace the production of Eden Hazard. Pulisic was one of the most hyped teenagers in world football after a brilliant start to life at Borussia Dortmund and set to replace Eden Hazard at Chelsea. But maybe Hazard leaving can offer the Brazilian the chance to reassert himself as an automatic pick. Striker Olivier Giroud. Chelsea desperately need to strengthen up front, but the two options available to them aren't as bad as some fans fear. Olivier Giroud is not quick enough to be truly considered a world-class talent, but he does everything else at a world-class level. As he showed throughout the Europa League and especially against Arsenal in the final, Giroud remains one of the best target men in world football.